In the midst of all this was the railroad. By 1887, it had completed the line across Indian Territory, designating watering stops along the route. The current location of Moore was one of those original stops and likely served as the encampment for railroad workers. Many believe this was the time and place when Moore's first permanent resident arrived on the scene, a man named Henry Applegate.
This man actually had selected Moore as a town site before the railroad came in. And the railroad was there 2 years before it was open to wide settlement.
Applegate wasn't a boomer and he wasn't a railroad employee, but he and his family somehow came to live here long before the run of '89 and then managed to stay afterwards. He would later play an important role in the town's future development. At this same period of time, the name Moore came to be associated with the area. Railroad planners called for the watering stop between Oklahoma City and Norman to be named Verbeck, after a railroad employee. But Verbeck never stuck. The name of another railroad worker did.
There was a conductor on the railroad named Moore, M-O-O-R-E. And one day when the train came through, some of the guys on the train, just for a joke, they had scribbled, they had painted Moore's Stop, and they got off while the train was watering and pounded it up on a little shed that was there. And so they just made a big joke of that, and eventually it just said Moore's Stop for a long, long time.
The little shed was where Mr. Moore picked up his mail, which he never seemed to receive properly until the sign was posted. This contributed to railroad workers and others in the area referring to the site as Moore's Stop. By early 1889, the unassigned lands contained somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 legal Sooners. These included railroad workers, deputy marshals, and numerous government employees. But on April 22 of that year, this number would change dramatically with the first of several great land runs. About 50,000 people joined the chaotic race on foot, horseback, carriage, and even bicycle. The area of Moore Stop lay right in the middle of all this.